Let's move straight to our next conversation. Security is most effective when it is closer to the people it protects. However, Nigeria's centralized system often stands in the way. The governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, claims that he could end the state's banditry crisis in 2 months if given control of security forces. This has reignited the push for state policing. His frustration follows deadly attacks like the one in Shinkafi, where security delays cost lives. While with growing support from groups like Afenifere and northern leaders, pressure is mounting on the federal government to act. Okay, gentlemen, yesterday when I saw these bold headlines on major newspapers across the country, this revelation by the governor of Zamfara. Now, he said that he can end banditry in 2 months. How do you view such claims, in the face of the security challenges, especially in the state?
He's not the only one to have said that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even Governor Isent Alia is calling for state police. The Borno State Governor, Baba Gana Zulum, is saying, give it to me. All the governors on their platform, the Nigeria Governors Forum, they say, give us state police. And the reason is this. When you look at some of the excuses, no, I wouldn't call that excuse, some of the reasons, because they are genuine, why the federal forces don't reach out to those local areas, is because they are centralized. They are seated somewhere, and crimes are happening in the suburbs. These guys who commit these crimes, they know where those guys are. They know how long it's going to take them to get to them. So they go in there, do what they need to do, and leave. In fact, there was one, I can't remember accurately now which state it was. Those guys came in, they left. As soon as the military left, they came back. Because you can't station troops that are not enough in a fixed location. For instance, there was a massive attack in Plateau State. And the military said it took them, because of the terrain, about 4 hours to get there in one state. And that's how a lot of the northern states are. They are far-flung, the communities, from themselves. And then you now find them maybe in a place where they should be using motorcycles, they are going in vehicles. Sometimes it's not even that the motorcycles are not available, it's because the kind of firepower that they need can only be done by sometimes a mounted truck and an APC, So it's a whole lot of issues. And that's why you see everybody keeps coming back to talk about Ondo State, where you have the Amotekun. Because it's easy for those guys to deploy. Something is happening somewhere, they call the nearest Amotekun base, and they are there in no time. So it is right, because to an extent, they know where the governors know where these things are coming from, but they don't have their own troops to deploy. Indeed, if we have enough at the federal level.
Some might want to ask that, why can't you share the intelligence with the security agencies?
He said it.
He said he does.
That he does. But because
he said they're waiting for directive.
Directive must come from the center. Because you don't just deploy. You must be sure.
Okay, I mean, the governor said, he went further to say that he knows the location of these bandits. Even just picking up his phone,
he can see them.
He can see them. But is this not self-indicting?
See, I put some things down just for context. Okay. Security experts have also been reacting to this. And one thing security experts have tried to do, or not to delve into, is to politicize, the whole issue. They will tell you that you need to be circumspect. When you want to strike, it's not enough to just identify the enemies. You need to be calculative, and therefore, they gave us all the jargons. And trust me, they will always prove to us that they know better than us, including the governors. They will tell us they know better than the governors. Now, politicians are easy. Don't forget, that the Minister of State for Defense happens to be the former governor of that state.
Zamfara, yes.
And I'm not too sure whether the man is not even trying to become the governor. So when you see the governor saying that they are waiting for directive at the center, a lot of people have read political undertones to it. But he is the governor, and he's the chief security officer. And what is needed?
In name.
Yeah, on paper.
Okay,
in name.
Good. But to a large extent, the people will score him by what happens to his state or not. Whether the military is controlled by the federal and the police is controlled by the federal, state governors actually have a role to play. And I think that's what he's doing. So if he has an app that can detect where the bandits are, that is quite commendable. I don't see it as self-indicting. But like I said, the most important thing that a lot of us are asking for is that political will. And that seems to be what he's expressing. I see this from the voice of frustration. I see this from the voice of, my people cannot continue to die. So please, can we stop the politicization of whatever and let us start this state policing? Do you understand what I'm saying? So when we get into state policing, but all this, it must happen now, it's not that easy. The structure has to be right.
Yeah, it has to go through
the structure has to be right. But in the meantime, let's stop the carnage. I mean, let's stop the killings.
Gentlemen, I remember,
give him all the support.
I remember an interview, you know, I think it was on TVC, where the governor once said that if insecurity in Zamfara is addressed, 70% of insecurity in northern Nigeria,
especially northwest,
will be solved.
Don't you believe that too?
I do, because but my point is, why do we have the security agencies delaying when intelligence is available?
Now, he said something. You don't just strike for the sake of striking. You must do all your communication right. There is what we also call friendly fire. When your Air Force, for instance, hits a location where your own troops are. It's happened a lot of times.
It happened in Kaduna, and it happened in some places.
Yes.
Even civilians were killed.
Even civilians were killed. But they were even saying, even they killed their own troops because of this coordination. One of the latest interviews the Chief of Defense Staff granted, that's talking about General Christopher Musana, he said a lot of the money that goes into banditry is from gold, sale of gold. Okay. Don't forget, Zamfara is a hub of gold. Sure. So if it is stopped, the mining, illegal mining, if it is stopped, then it means that you have removed the oxygen completely of the bandits, because that's where it's funding. The kind of arms they carry, you know it requires a lot of money. So, like I said, if that is stopped in Zamfara, I mean, almost the whole country will be at peace. So it's right. And don't forget also that within us that he spoke, the president also said he must deliver on state police. The president said so, meaning that everybody knows that there is a need for our security to be localized. Once we don't localize it, we are going to keep missing the points.
Okay, now, the side B of this conversation on the issue of state police. Afenifere, they said that Afenifere and the northern elders. But why does Afenifere believe that the creation of state police is overdue? I think they said 50 years overdue.
Yeah. Yes, there's no two way about it. Like I said, I even saw that yesterday it was even discussed on this show. We discussed it the day before. That's to let you know that even from the media perspective, we are saying let's get on it. Enough of the excuse, enough of the disadvantages that are inherent with it, that we are even talking about election once in 4 years, and maybe local government once in 3 years, beyond our daily safety. That should be more prioritized. Sure. And so if we're talking about the gold, we're talking about all these huge attraction for these bandits, trust me, it has to be localized. All right, that's how we begin to look at... Okay,
just hold that thought. We have Alaba Lakwe calling in from Lagos. Alaba, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, you know, maybe it's because of this man that said he's a governor. That is why we are giving it more attention. The ordinary Nigerians have been saying this, most of these banditry, these criminals, they live within us. They are among us. Some of us know where they are. Well, the only solution now, which I believe the Banditry and the life have been saying, is the state police and community policing. Government should increase the allocation and allow the state to create the kind of security that they want, as far as they can give us results. Because these killings cannot continue as far as Nigerians are dying. Definitely we cannot continue clapping for government. If Nigeria leaves, that's where we are going to continue clapping for government. We need state police. That's the only solution that can stop this madness, insecurity.
Absolutely.
Good evening and God bless.
Thank you very much, Alaba. Thank you very much.
So like I said, it's the voice of frustration and the fact that, including Afenifere, it's good we're putting names behind this cry so that everybody will know that we are one on this matter. It's not about who is in government. It's not about, and I think this is the first time we are seeing the president being loud about it. That governors, I am not interested in holding on to the power you want. Take this power. I'm ready to devolve this power. And you know, this is an advocate of real restructuring. Yeah. When I mean real restructuring, Tinubu has been an advocate. He's been quoted several times. So this is the best time to do it. And I do not think National Assembly is going to delay it further. But before then, because the structure has to be put correctly, the rules of engagement has to be spelled out. Yeah, we'll still dig deep into exactly. That. So, but in the interim, what the governor is saying is very germane. It's quite indicting on, in quotes, Abuja. Let them respond to this cry. Let us take the lives of people of Zamfara State very serious. I like the fact that government has not reacted. They've not told him that you are joking. They've not said you're lying, but they are simply probably understudying what he's saying because that has to be taken serious. If he has facts that they are waiting for Abuja directive, then that directive has to be given. It has to be given. We have Amechi calling in from Port Harcourt. Amechi, go ahead.
Yes, my take on this issue of the governor saying it could end the security challenge within 2 weeks is that we hope, hopefully, that by the time they are given the state police that they request for, we won't have situations whereby many of them will say it's no longer possible that the security situation is taking a new twist. So if they are saying within 2 weeks, and they have state police, let them deliver on what they said. So we don't have any other excuse. We know that as we are going for state police, the issue of insecurity is ending. Thank you. All right, thank you so much, Hamichi. I mean, Afenifere said this thing is 50 years overdue. But why do we now have this hesitation, especially at the federal level, despite growing consensus across all regions in the country?
The truth is that those who have been at the center, they overrate power. They don't want to lose any of what they have. And that's why you see that a lot of the structures that we have in our systems, they are collapsing easily. Quite easily. The things that states can do, the federal is holding on to it. Look at what happens, for instance, roads. You live in Lagos. You are told that the road that passes through your area is a federal road. You don't even know who the federal is. You know your governor and you know your local government chairman. So why do we still have this federal road, federal, state, and you see the things going down, getting damaged, and mischievous people, they will go and do videos and begin to blame their governors when they even know that that is the truth of the matter. Now we are saying that Abuja is doing a lot in terms of giving out power, releasing power in some areas. And that also should come to this issue of security. Because if we don't look at even what, for instance, the Minister of Mines, did. They created the mining marshal. Look at what that small creation has done. The federal government is saying also, let's do forest guard. Look at the little that they have done in a short while. Look at the much they have done. So when you begin to see reason and you release power, you'll see that you are going to become more powerful at the end of the day.
All right, then. We have Ayola calling in from Egbeda. Ayola, you have the floor.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Please. I just want to say something. We can't continue this way, the way things are happening in Nigeria. I believe since they know the problem and they are talking about what's it called, state policing all this while, how long does it take them to effect this? This is not rocket science. We shouldn't continue doing this kind of thing and expect.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Ayola. Now, talking about state police, there are countries that have actually, they are into this multi-level policing systems. Now, what lessons can Nigeria draw from countries, you know, with multi-level policing system to avoid confusion, to avoid misuse or inefficiency? I'll start with
I'm trying to marry the two words of our callers. One was saying, let the governors not come tomorrow and tell us, hey, I don't think we need state police again. We can't pay them again. And this other man says it's not rocket science. They should make it happen. I think the middle ground is we have waited long enough, but be circumspect in drawing out the modus operandi so that we don't rush and miss it. You understand? They might just need to touch some document that have been produced in the past, put it together, and let the state policing start probably in the next 12 months, or as this tenure is rounding up, the president signs it into law, and we'll go into state policing in less than 1.5 years. So I just want to put that on record. But like I said, whatever needs to be done, all those marching order of the president, the marching order of the ministers that should be coming should take place now, and let's stop the carnage. It's quite important. Learning from some of the best, like in America, we know how FBI operates, we know how the state police operate, we even know how community policing is being practiced. And we see that in UK too. These are things that are very, very practicable. They are things that we can do. And so the template is there. It's just for those drafters to go on the vacation. That's on a tour now, not a vacation, where they can also study this document, ask questions, and do this stuff. It's worth spending money on. This has to do with lives. So there's no two-way about it. Let us have a committee from both the legislators and the federal executive. Let them come together and probably get some good lawyers to be part of that committee.
I mean, now, apart from countries, you know, that actually have this multi-level policing systems, yesterday we heard that the president also praised civilian JTF. Now, what lessons can we learn from civilian JTF, and also these, the countries that actually, just in 1 minute...
Even the civilian JTF is a layer of policing. For instance, now, in the US, you have 17,985 police agencies, and they don't cross themselves. There was a year I was in the US, and one of those who drove me around, he was rushing to finish a phone call before crossing the border into another police enforcement. He said, here, you can make calls. On that side, you can't make calls. Meaning that once you cross this boundary, you know that's another layer of policing. And they don't run into themselves. The problem with us here will be, I want to see what is happening in Zone A, whereas we are in Zone B. However, they can make money. So the issue of training and getting the right set of people is important. Not people who are going into it simply because it is an avenue to make money. It shouldn't be so.
Absolutely.
We should have it all well set out.
I mean, now that I've been a very strong regional stance, I believe it will deepen Nigeria's restructuring debate. You know, just beyond.
It will, even before,
I believe so. All right, we need to go on this quick break. When we return, the conversation continues. Don't go away. Still Journalist Hangout.